Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Semi-Perfect Podcast, our first podcast of December 2017.
Is it?
As, yeah.
Shit.
It's the 13th.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome in. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about, a lot of stuff happening in life in general, some things that are coming up in the future, and, of course, what's up now. So, to start things off, this is going to be a bit of a smaller cast tonight. We got Hirosashii.
Hello.
PaleoSteno.
Hello.
Toodles.
Hello.
And I'm ACRacebest. So for starters, as usual I almost said for a bronies rack. As usual for a semi-perfect podcast, we don't yet know the location of Black Griffin. However, he sometimes just appears, kind of an entity. So we'll see what happens. We know that PanamaMatt is having a wine and dine experience right now. And Saber and Laura are currently out. Actually, I think they might be on their way home now, but they've spent the last week at Walt Disney World, and we've been very jealous.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be home either on the 15th or 16th.
Okay. Are they still like tonight? Are they at Walt Disney World?
I think.
Whoa. Nice. He we'll talk a little bit about that too.
Wow, he's getting like a full week of fun, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, I want to be a YouTuber.
Get to go to Disney World.
Do you?
No rules. No rules. So I guess we'll start off with the food posts right now that people have submitted in just prior to the show. I'm kind of going backwards, but I see Morgan has submitted that they're eating pizza rolls in the oven. They got what are those? Are those chicken dinosaurs?
Oh my
Dinosaur
god,
chicken?
they
Dinosaur nuggets?
Yeah.
Those. And then
do you just know what those are off the top of your head, dinosaur nuggets?
They're the nuggets that look like
Well,
diamonds.
he said chicken dinosaurs, so I'm guessing he means like dinosaur nuggets.
But is that like a brand of food?
I don't.
Like
I
it's a
don't know.
kid's food, yeah.
It's
Oh,
dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets.
I mean, you just said it so confident, and you're like, "Oh, they're dino nuggets." I was like, "Is that like a thing?"
What's weird is like this plate. It's got the dino nuggets and like some sort of like maybe potato fries, like the steak fries. But then there's like an empty bag of Totino's pizza rolls and bugles on the right. And I'm like, those dinosaurs don't look like Totino's. Say what?
The pizza rolls are in the oven.
Oh shit! Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention. Sorry.
That's cool. Nikki D says finals, especially macroeconomics, causing so much pain and suffering right now. Hopefully some chocolate and the Semi-Perfect Podcast can help soothe it.
Woo, finals.
Yay!
I remember those days.
A lot of people in our Discord fan server have been talking about finals, and I'm like, glad I don't have to do that anymore.
If you're going through finals, good luck.
Good luck.
Remember, I'll share some advice here for you. I don't know if it worked for me, but you can try it. Especially if you're in college, a lot of tests are weighted, which means your grade is determined based on how everybody in the class does, which means it's not necessarily about getting 100%, but more so about getting 100% more right than anyone else. That math didn't actually work. But
No.
but what I used to do, because I knew I was up against some pretty smart kids, but I also knew that the people in my class also, they might be like really book smart, but sometimes it's about being just in general smart.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people in my classes would not sleep before an exam. They would stay up for like 24, 48 hours before a final, just trying to cram everything and it completely destroys them. They wouldn't eat properly. Eat properly, get
Sleep.
lots of fluids,
Yes.
and get a lot of sleep. I'd say try to at least get, try to get 8 hours of sleep. I know it sounds like who has time for sleep right now, but try, because if you could set up yourself to be as mentally like in good shape as you can be, that's like the first step to being like, oh yeah, problem solving.
Yeah.
So
another tip from me, especially if you're in college, be sure to check and double check what times your finals start.
Oh my god.
Because I was an hour late to one of my finals. It turned out okay, but don't do that.
Also, on top of making sure you sleep, it's the same thing, because I totally studied like 16 hours straight from my Calc 2 exam, because Calc 2 is a demon. And then when I woke up, it was 1.5 hours into the exam time.
Oh no.
I was like, wow, what's the point of studying if I'm just gonna fail anyway? All right, so please sleep. Please sleep.
Yeah.
yeah, oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything got me more like anxiety than thinking I might miss an exam.
I still have dreams. I literally still have dreams that I'm late for exams.
Same.
And they're the worst.
Yeah, you're just yeah, and you wake up and you're like, I haven't been in school for years. Why? But yeah, so good luck, guys.
We do
go
have
for it.
one that we missed is by Norse Brony. He says, gonna have chocolate milk and cookies today, as on Friday I have my flight to Sweden for Christmas. Ooh, enjoy your trip to Sweden, Norse Brony.
Nice.
Those cookies look good.
Ross Pitt posted, "Behold, my dinner while watching the Semi-Perfect podcast. It is a York."
Nice. Peppermint
Silver
patty.
Blaze says, "Ready for the podcast with iced coffee and Grand Theft Auto 5."
Nice.
The Cake Slayer says, "Sadly, I can't make it tonight. Gotta study for my final final exam tomorrow. But in the meantime, here's my food post. It's toothpaste-covered pepperoni."
Oh.
Alongside a swig
Wait,
of
what?
hardwood floor cleaner. Oh, and I got bored, so I made art of you guys enjoy. And I'm gonna copy link, and it's only of some of us, but
Who's the first picture?
I believe that's drummer. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like
So
trying to
there's
figure
the
out
post I just
who
put
on
in
our
there.
podcast that is. I'm like,
Yeah, it's technically just me and Race, but you can also see a picture of.
I'm smoking. I'm a pirate and smoking.
You got some ovals coming out of your mouth, yeah?
And then Sarah has a like an air cleaner teeth.
Got like a isosceles triangle.
Yeah.
On your grill.
Drummer Shy doesn't look very different.
Exactly the same, actually.
We've got
speaking of
John.
Drummer Shy,
Oh.
he says eating Jimmy Fallon in a cup.
Oh,
He's
That's-
eating Ben and Jerry's tonight dough.
nice. Then we got John Dash saying I would have a pizza from Famoso to show you, but I ate it and it's got all the crusts left over, but they still have a Dr. Pepper, so that's silver lining. Nice.
Nora Mermaid says, I'm having chocolate gelt because it's Chanukah.
What's guilt?
Gold
Chanukah.
coins.
Speaking of Nora, or Menorah Mermaid.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, that's her name on
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Friggin' puns.
Says Hirosashii, I got my eyes on you. What did I do? I don't understand.
What happened? What
What
did you
happened?
do?
Did I say something about Cape? I don't know.
Jeez. Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's everything
and
for
Toga
the food
Pikachu
post.
says, didn't take a picture, but currently in the middle of making cookies. Make some for us, please.
Please. And thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So nice. So those are the food posts. In regards to, I'm curious. Hirosashii and Paleo. We'll start with you guys. Anything new over the last 2 weeks? What's up?
2 weeks, Paleo. What you had some exciting stuff going, right?
I did.
I don't know.
I don't know what the heck did we do on the POS podcast? Because like I know we talked
about the video game awards.
Yeah, we talked about the game awards, and we also talked about the Annie Awards nominations, which that could probably be a topic.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I've been making a lot of videos this month. I was trying to do Vlogmas, but I sort of got like cut off this week, so unfortunately I won't be able to do all of Vlogmas because I've been working on a video for Saber. I'm doing his top 10 Christmas specials, which will be out on Friday.
Nice.
You should just post it on your channel.
Yep.
No, he's paying me to edit, so.
Cool.
That didn't change anything.
Still
You should post it on.
I'm not gonna post it on my channel.
That's irrelevant information.
Yeah, but my birthday is on Friday.
Awesome.
Yay.
Happy early birthday.
Turning 47 years old.
No,
Oh, cute.
it will be my last year of my 20s though.
Ooh.
Same here. I'm in it right now.
Yeah,
Nothing's different.
Yeah, me, you, and Saber are all in the same birth year, so it's just a different month. Because
Yep.
Saber's October, you're November, and I'm December.
Holy cow! Wait, we did line that up, didn't we?
Yeah,
Thank
it was
God.
planned.
Busy. Nice. So cool. Anything else, guys? That's been going on?
I'm literally releasing an application for work right now. So my last 2 weeks have been insane in terms of work. Like goodness gracious, I'm getting slammed with work.
Yeah.
But hopefully after this release, it looks like it'll be a little easier. So
Nice.
I hope so, because Christmas is coming soon. Don't make me work over Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the reason I had you guys go first.
Because
It's
for
we're
us,
waiting for the important.
Oh, yeah.
for
How's
us,
it going over there?
yeah, California has turned into a fucking hellscape over here. Like we've got like we had 6 fires at one point going on at the same time. A lot of them are getting close to being done. There's still the big one, that's the Thomas fire, but we did have one start right near us, and it was kind of a scary experience because I'm waking up at about like 10 to 10:30 in the morning, and I'm hearing a lot of sirens. I'm like, oh, that's never really a good sign. So I text Jeffrey. I'm like, hey, I'm hearing a lot of sirens, and apparently they lost power at work because there was really strong winds going on that day. Plus, it might have also had to do with the fire. But yeah, someone from his work, they stepped outside after the power went out, and they're like, oh, there's smoke over there, really close. And so it turns out, like, the hills that are just right by our apartment complex were on fire. And it was very quickly moving because the winds were so rough. So I had to very quickly get out of bed and start packing up just in case for a call for evacuation, which it didn't happen. But Jeffrey came home from work, and, we both kind of like kept our eyes on it. And it very quickly moved towards Magic Mountain, and then past Magic Mountain and up into the hills. And now it's far away from us, so we're safe from it. We don't smell any smoke from it. But yesterday, another fire sprouted up, again, in the same hillish area, but fortunately the winds weren't bad, and the firemen were able to get it out within 30 minutes. But yeah, it's been a rough experience because I've literally lost sleep, like especially after the rye fire that popped up. I did not sleep very good for the next 2 days because I was like, what if a fire starts when we're sleeping? And I just snorted really big. But yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's probably what started the fire in the first place. No, from my perspective, it was funny because it was a really windy day, so us losing power at work didn't really register like, oh, there might be something else going on. But after we lost power, it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30ish. I noticed there was a lot of like sirens, and that's when I was kind of just like, that's weird. Like, did someone crash into a electrical box or what? And it was one of our coworkers walked in and was like, by the way, guys, there's a fire outside. And we walk out, and it's like a huge fire right outside. And it seems like the things with fires is they're sometimes hard to gauge how close they are. I want to kind of compare it to like almost like storm clouds. How you look at them, and you're like, is that like a really high up storm cloud that's far away, or is it like really low and close? With smoke, sometimes it looks like it's closer than it is. Which could also be a problem because then you think like, oh, it's not that close, and then you find out no, that's actually a really close fire. It was about 2 blocks away, and yeah, they gave us the option. And they're like, guys, if anyone's worried about their houses, you guys can go. And I immediately left because I didn't know. I knew that Sarah was packing things up, but yeah, so we met up, and then it ended up being as close as 2 blocks away from our apartment.
Yeah.
So
after it started leaving the area, we actually walked to the Walmart, which they were using the parking lot for a control base for the firefighters. But we did walk to the Walmart, and we did see the hills where it went through, and some of it was still kind of ember. I don't know, slightly smoldering.
Yeah.
It was surreal.
Still smoking and whatnot. So yeah, we kind of did a little driving around town and whatnot. It was crazy because it moved so fast. The winds were so heavy, and that's one reason I was concerned, because all it takes, like with these wildfires, sometimes if it's something you don't see often, these wildfires, they seem, I don't know, even from my perspective, I feel like fires are one of those things where you kind of look at and go, now, how does someone not get out of the way of a fire? Like, I think they ended up having one fatality because of all the fires out here so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they determined that was somebody who was trying to like drive away or waited too long to try to get out, and probably smoke or whatever was so thick, and I guess they ended up crashing their car and not making it out.
Yeah.
But the fires are so unpredictable because the winds blow embers all over the place, and all it would have taken was the wind to turn 90 degrees and gust our way, and we would have been in direct line of the fire. And it happened to go right next to us, went and just kept going. And at this point, it's like in the 90% containment. I think they're still expecting another week before they put that one out. There's still a huge one going on about an hour from where we are called the Thomas Fire. It's just been wild. And then, like Sarah said yesterday, one sprouted up, and I smelt it when I was getting out of my car after my break, and I was like, oh, great. But that one, like, the firefighters were literally like, hell no.
Not today. Not again.
Not today.
Yeah, they knocked it out like in less than half an hour. So that one was good.
Yeah, they were not gonna wait around for that one, so that was good. But yeah, it was wild. It was real wild. But we're okay.
Yeah. I still have a bag packed just in case. I've had a bag like for the past like couple weeks just sitting here in our bedroom just in case if we need to go anywhere. So
yep. So that's been one of those fun moments. Yeah. What else have we been up to, Sarah?
Well, I guess a highlight these past couple weeks is that we just tied down our venue for our wedding, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on a boat, motherfuckers.
We sure are.
I'm on a motherfucking boat.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. That'll be fun. So that's weddings are expensive.
Yeah, I mean this one
Yes,
was
they are.
one of the more reasonably priced ones, but
Yeah.
yeah, weddings are expensive.
Just a heads up for anyone getting married. They
Dude, I see
cost
it's a lot of people.
Yeah. No, but I'm obviously looking forward to it. But yeah, Sarah, I know that we had some topics that did you write those topics down we were discussing?
No. I did write I wrote some stuff down. You wanted to talk about the convention spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, I think we decided to hold that off for
Okay.
another podcast.
Well, then I got nothing.
No, I had like a list of like 8 things.
Well, why don't you list them? I have written down here holidays. We can talk about holidays.
We will talk about holidays.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, you want to talk
That'll be a
about
good
you
time.
falling off the grandstands?
Oh, see, you did remember some of these. So if anyone saw, I posted about a dream I had where I was flying Black Griffin's paramotor, and I was flying it, and I got like way up high, and then I realized I didn't know how to control it somehow. Like dream logic, you get to like the worst possible point, and then realize that you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, and all of a sudden in my dream, do you guys have this in dreams?
This
where
isn't
all
the
of a sudden
grandstand story, by the way.
it is related.
Okay.
It is related.
Alright.
As we'll get to. But do you guys ever have it like, okay, who here vividly dreams? Like some people are like, oh, I don't remember my dreams. But do any of you guys like dream?
I remember my dreams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Do you guys ever have it to where like you're doing something and all of a sudden you're in like third person perspective and watching
Yep.
yourself?
It's really
Isn't that
odd.
weird? It's
Yes.
weird because it like makes sense during the dream. It's like, oh yeah, there I go. I'm gonna wreck.
Oh, this is a third-person game.
And it was like a cutscene, and all of a sudden I'm standing on a beach, and watching as my paramotor with 2 motors. That doesn't make sense. My left motor I think goes out and bursts into fire, and I'm like, oh no! And then I watch it like crash into the ocean and completely destroy Gabe's paramotor, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna be so mad. Anyways, I woke up, I was sore from it, and the reason I was sore from it, and I kind of had this mentioned in the tweet that I posted, I went down hard this past Saturday. Tommy and I, with Low Budget TV, we went out for the first time ever, covered motorcycle racing out in Paris, California, and they have the kind of grandstands like the aluminum seats, but that don't have like the backing on the seats. It's just like seats. And I went to step down. We're just finishing up packing up what was in the grandstand area. And the way they have this set up is like the booth that Tommy was in running the computer and producing the show is right up against the grandstands. So I'm handing him stuff through a window. And so Tommy, he takes some stuff. I hand him the last bit of cords. He takes those, and he said that all of a sudden he heard some shuffling, and when he turned to look back at me, all he saw was my arm flailing through the air, and I was gone. What happened was I went to step down.
Like immediately, you just like vanished.
Like poof. And what happened was I went to step back on the other seat, and I missed my step, and there was just nothing. And I just went back, and I didn't land on the next row down. I landed 2 rows down, and the first thing that I landed on was my arm, of which I had like I immediately was like, well, I broke that. Because it hurt, but I was also like, I just know that I'm not going to be able to move my fingers or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I tumbled. I did like a backflip something, like cartwheel, and I somehow managed to hurt my back, my neck, my arm, my like stomach, my leg, my ankle, like everything was sore.
Is your
I'm like,
stomach a thing that you hurt?
yeah, it was weird. No,
That's not
and
like
so-
that's not a part of your body that you hurt.
Not
that
typically.
often.
Like your abdomen, do you mean, or like?
No,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was just like, shit. And of course, the first thing I started doing after I landed, I just started busting up laughing. Like I turned to Tommy as he looks over and he goes, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just sitting." And then I just started laughing because I'm like, I hope somebody saw that, because if anyone saw that, it must have looked like the most glorious thing. And of course, we didn't have our cameras running at that moment, so. Oh man. So yeah, I landed on my arm. I can still feel it. I'm surprised because it didn't end up bruising. I don't know. My body's weird with bruises nowadays. I used to bruise all the time as a kid. Now I just don't.
Now I'm like iron bodied and I can't get hurt.
Life. But yeah, so anyways, that was a moment where I thought I was gonna have a much worse experience than I did. But I was laughing so hard. I'm like, that was the dumbest thing.
Isn't it weird how like when something's happening, like, oh gosh, this is like a bad scenario, it's happening, and then like you hurt yourself, you're like, that didn't hurt nearly as much as I thought it should, but I know I really hurt something.
Yeah.
Like the adrenaline's going or something.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of waiting. Like I immediately felt my arm, and like, because I figured I'd broken it, just the way like all my weight landed on my arm, and I dropped like, 2 or 3 feet from where I was, and then it was like 4 or 5, 6 feet from. I mean, like I don't know how I traveled as far as I did. Like it's like I pushed off the seat to try and like, perform some incredible dive for the Olympics, and I didn't land well. So.
What was it? There was a time when I was wakeboarding. By the way, I love wakeboarding. I don't know if that's a known fact, but I very much so enjoy it. But yeah, I was wakeboarding, and I did not land correctly after trying to do a 360, and then I fell, and falling at a quick velocity in the water becomes cement.
Yeah.
So, I for some reason had like I was like smiling in a stupid way, where like my top teeth were like on the outside of my bottom lip, and my bottom teeth were obviously like inside. No. And then when I fell, I just bit straight through the right side of my lip. No. And it didn't actually hurt at the time, but I was like, oh man, that is bad. That is bad.
I've heard that about people who break bones. Like they're like
the bones come out of the skin. Sorry, I thought that's what you were going for. Sorry to put that image in your head.
I'm just like saying like how like sometimes people don't realize they've broken a bone, whether it's from adrenaline or what, and then all of a sudden they kind of like look and go, "Oh shit, my arm's broken." Yeah, like to me it just seems like it'd be the most. Knock on wood, man. Has anyone here broken a bone?
I've only done a hairline fracture. That's about it.
It's very unpleasant.
What bone did you break?
I don't know what it's called. I'm not smart. It was in my arm.
I'm curious.
My arm bone.
I'm curious what bones anyone in our audience have broken. But Sarah, what did you hairline fracture?
One of the bones in my feet. I ran in the house and I stepped on it weird. It's like the bone that's along the left. It was my left foot, and it was like the bone along the left side of it, so like attached to my pinky toe. I don't know, something with that.
How did you know you broke it?
Because it hurt real bad, and I heard a not like a snap, but something like it when I landed on it, and I just like immediately fell over and started crying. I was like maybe 9 or 10. But yeah, my mom took me to the ER and they did a scan and they're like, "Oh, that's a hairline fracture, all right. Gotta put a boot on this shit."
I hope they talk just like that.
Putting a boot on this shit.
I got out of PE for like a while, So that was okay for me.
Are you one of those kids that didn't like PE?
I hated PE so much.
A lot of people didn't like PE. It's like really surprising to me, actually. I'm like, really?
I didn't hate it. I don't get.
I loved it. I was like, I get
Yeah.
to move around. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, maybe it's just because I was physically fit as a kid, so I was like, this is easy.
I had bad asthma as a kid, so any sort of running or anything, it was real bad. So I was like, ugh. But yeah, that's probably the main reason why I hated PE is like just the asthma aspect of it. Okay, so I did remember something else that you probably want to talk about. How about that Zootopia comic?
Oh boy.
Oh my god, wait, no. Before we get to that, I was just looking over what some of the audience people are saying that they've broken. Let's see here.
Sprained
someone's
ankle.
husband, Mew,
Mew?
husband broke his hand, but neither of us have broken a bone. So we were both like, Fox says he's broken both of his arms. Nora said she broke an ankle.
Ross says he broke his brother's collarbone.
Nice. Nikki D says his heart was broken.
Oh.
Silverblade broke his jaw.
No.
Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I missed any, but.
Oh.
No, I was gonna bring something else up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before you go on to the
Do it.
So I just found out that Humble Bundle has a thing right now where you can get Sony Vegas for $20.
What?
Yeah. Like I'm going to link it.
I'm about to go buy that literally right now.
That's like Sony Vegas costs like $400. So yeah, get it now.
Wow. Everybody in the chat, if you've wanted good editing software, go do that shit right now. Do we have a link that we could put in the chat?
I just linked it.
Another...
Copying that, putting it in the chat. There you go, guys.
Yeah, it's Humble Bundle, so it gets a charity.
Nice.
I was completely surprised. Like I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw like, oh, Vegas Pro is $20. And
oh wow!
you can go to this other software too.
This is Vegas 14.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Do you need that, babe? You should get it on your big computer.
I mean, just to have a license.
I should get it on both computers.
Yeah. Your poor laptop's not going to be able to handle any more programs.
No, it probably won't. Holy crap!
That's insane. How can they do that?
Oh.
Yeah.
How much does Vegas Pro usually cost? Yeah,
right now on the site,
it says 400.
Altogether, it says Vegas Pro 14 Edit, Pro 14, and Pro 14 Suite with costs of. Oh, okay. So yeah, Vegas Pro 14 Edit is 400. Is that what they're offering here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it is. What in the world?
Well, thanks for coming to the whatever this was, everyone. We're gonna go shopping. Wow, that's interesting. I'll look into that afterwards.
Right, yeah.
I'm getting it now.
Do it.
I was like,
It runs out in 13 days and 16 hours.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Andrea Libman. All right. Well, that's awesome. Okay, so.
When's it run out? You said 13 days.
13 days and 16 hours. Yeah.
Should we do the thing, Sarah?
Yeah.
All right. So, for those that don't know, there is a what is definitely classified as a meme at this point going around the internet.
Yeah.
It definitely hit its peak a few days ago, where there is a comic out of Zootopia, fan comic that is called I Will Survive. And this comic's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw this comic, I want to say like a year ago. It's been a long time. And it is one of the most, I'd say, divisive comics out there that is, I guess you could say, safe for work. Not that I have seen anything but safe for work art, of course. But it's...
Okay, when you say it like that, then I believe that you haven't. Okay. I just wanted to say that because I watched the Bob's Vegas episode where he said that, and that line made.
No, but this comic, it's essentially, I guess, to give a brief overview for those that aren't aware or aren't familiar with it. In the comic, Judy, it starts with Judy discovering that she is pregnant, and she is bearing a pregnancy that Nick helped her out with. And so I guess neither of them thought that they would, pregnancy would be an issue, so they didn't worry about protection or anything, and found out later, oh, it does work out that way. And so Judy informs Nick of this, of which he's like, this is incredible, it's a miracle. Judy, I'm so happy. How amazing. And of which Judy pulls Nick back on Earth and tells him, well, I don't want to keep the baby. And so basically it is a discussion.
Sorry, I see someone in the chat saying, so this isn't the Arby's one?
The Arby's one is so good.
The Arby's one is so good.
We will get to that. So yeah, no, this is the original work, and it's made by an artist who goes by the name of Borba. So anyways, in the story, it's basically a discussion / argument of abortion, and Judy is arguing that it's my body, it's my rules, and gives her reasons. One of which is she's terrified of what the child might look like.
She's scared to die because it might.
Well, I'm going in the order that she presents it.
All right, fine.
Order number 2 is that she's afraid that she might not survive the pregnancy because she might be the first bunny given birth to a fox's baby, and then the last one is her career, of which she says, look, I am a figurehead for a bunch of small mammals, and I've worked real hard to get to this point in my career, and this and this. Now Nick's not having it. He's just like, are you kidding me? Like, we might have a miracle.
Not have my baby.
What is this? And it's funny because this is a comic. Now, okay, so that's essentially it. It ends with Nick leaving Judy. And
Oops, sorry.
It's weird because Judy. It's okay. So the guy who made this comic is from Brazil, so there's already a bit of a translational thing happening from this comic to English. I don't think it was originally written in English. I don't think it was.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
But yeah, so that's one thing to consider with this. From the fans' perspective, I remember when I read this, and I think a lot of people look at it this way, is that it seems like a very out of character type of work, and that's okay because there's a lot of comics out there or stories out there where people are like, I want to tell a story, and sometimes just throw characters into it, and Judy and Nick were the characters that were thrown into this one. So I mean, I honestly, like, again, this comic was very divided on where people saw it. I, from the first time I saw this, saw it not. A lot of people call it a pro-life thing, but really I feel like pro-life and pro-choice are both like kind of equally. And feel the three of you feel free to chime in. But I feel like it's they're both represented fairly equally.
Yeah.
It's just Nick's like, well, I'm out, and I guess that's why people are like, oh, it's a pro-life. But even the artist has stated, he's like, oh no, I think a woman should be able to choose what to do with her body.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, I think he woke up one day and went, why is everybody asking me why I'm so pro life. And I've seen some people kind of argue, like, I even posted a tweet kind of just pointing this out to people, like, just so everyone knows, you know, hey, the guy wasn't intending for it to come across like this. But I think, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people latch on to, well, this is what I don't agree with, so therefore this is what it is. And I don't know, like I said, I felt like both sides were represented pretty equally. And honestly, both characters in the comic were handling the situation very, very terribly.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't say.
I like the part where Judy's like, nope, that's it. There's nothing to discuss. And then like 2 pages later, she's like, Nick, don't leave. We can talk about this.
We can talk more about this.
I'm like, oh yeah. So again, it's a fan work. It's anyways. So this was picked up by somebody on Tumblr or somewhere, and they decided, what if we start putting our own words into this? Of which, you know, the meme was born, and this comic is, I think, over a year old, so this didn't get picked up till this past week. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I've seen has really cracked me up. I think it's hilarious. I've even seen people who worked on Zootopia putting in their own quotes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
So yeah, no, I mean, as long as people, like, some people may not be aware that I happen to be a pretty big fan of Zootopia.
No.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I know. So
I was aware. I knew.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So I guess, like, before we really jump into the discussion of this whole thing, or any deeper into it, I'll say that I have some concerns. Like, I obviously, as fandoms, the last thing we want is to be judged by one person, specifically a negativity, and have everyone say, well, look at that fandom, they made this. And it's like, well, one person made this. Okay, you know, and I don't, like, this is me purely being like wanting Judy and Nick to get married someday, like, canonically. I'm like, come on.
You're one of them.
I am 100%. And so I'm like, oh man, I hope people don't look at this and be like, oh wow, Nick's an ass. You know, maybe they shouldn't be together. And I'm like, no. Stop.
He's an ass only in this comic.
Yeah.
You can't look up fan works and be like, that's the way the character is.
Yeah.
He's very out of character in the comic.
Right.
Yeah. Both of them are like I'm pretty sure they both would handle this situation much better, because it's
in this comic. He said, "Ain't ya?" That's the part where I was just like, "This
Ain't
is so incredibly wrong." I can't even deal with
that. Was it
premeditated sitting.
I like legitimately like bust out laughing because it's like bolded a little bit. I love it.
I shared this with Sarah when didn't I show this to
you? You didn't show it to me. You talked about it though.
I did.
When he first found it, he was kind of like having one of those existential crisis sort of things over it. He's like, but.
Did I? Oh,
yeah, you were kind of upset by it. Yeah.
I'm stronger than that. No, I probably, I think it was more of just how it ended. I think a lot of people, when you follow a comic, most comics are posted where, like, you get a page maybe once a week, if you're lucky, maybe more than that. And a lot of people knew that this guy, from my knowledge, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he's drawn some, like, pro Judy and Nick art, like, you know, shipping art,
quite a bit.
And so everybody was like, "Oh, I wonder how this is gonna end. I wonder how it's gonna turn around." And, like, there came a tipping point, like, where everyone's like, how is this gonna end up not bad? And it was quite the experience to go through, and then it just ended bad, and it was like, oh, okay, all right. And I mean, the thing is that the art's really well done.
It's crazy, like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And I think that's why everyone's like, what?
Why this story accompanied by this art? I don't understand.
Yeah. So I like, again, I hope for the artist that people aren't going after the artist, especially because they're,
they're
it comes with,
assuming that he's, anti-abortion.
Yeah, that he's, and that he's, he's sitting here going, no, that's not how I think. What happened here is, this is an artist who said, you know what, I want to tell a dramatic story, maybe one that ends sad or upsetting, or just, tell a different type of story.
Yeah.
And, they did, and, it's sometimes a risk to do something like that.
Yeah.
But I would hope that the response and the memes and everything aren't discouraging the artist. I have also seen, there's a website called the Zootopia News Network. It's basically Equestria Daily, but for Zootopia.
Yeah.
And they posted an article about this, and I guess had been in talks with the artist, and the artist was even sharing some of the memes with them.
Yeah.
So I think they're taking it all right. But yeah, it's such an interesting scenario, because I'm like, yes, Zootopia's back in the spotlight.
But why did it have to be that comic?
Yeah, that's been like the thing. But I'm like, part of the, like, a lot of this is actually pretty hilarious. Which brings us to the Arby's one.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
The last line is
I'm
so
thinking
good.
Arby's.
I'm thinking Arby's. It's so good.
It's brilliant. Yeah, there's been some really hilarious stuff, and it's funny because, like, even this meme, I've seen some people in the fandom like, no, why does this have to be out? Like,
I think it's
yeah,
fantastic. I gotta be honest.
I do too. It's like, I think the only kind of black eye about it is that everyone's treating it politically. Saying like, oh, this is from that pro-life comic, and it's like, well, I'd more argue this is from, I'd almost call it, I don't know, like, I don't want to say abortion. I feel like I was gonna say abortion comic, but then everyone assumes that an abortion happens in the comic.
Right.
But like, it's like, again, it's an argument of both sides. It's not like one is clearly right in the artist's eyes.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's funny.
I just like what people are doing with it. The slap, that's like the most used meme out of this, and
I enjoyed the one that someone, I think it was Paleo, posted it, but it was the Lego Nick Wilde thing, and then the slap picture, and then it's all like ruined in the next picture. Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, like I said. Oh wait, no. So. I should have seen this coming, but Saberspark is in Walt Disney World, and he was texting me, letting me know, dude, Judy, I'm gonna read his text messages to me, just so everyone can see that everything was fine before we got to this point. Let's see here. Let's see. He says they were just holding hands a second ago and playing with each other, and I was like, yes.
Wow.
And then he says,
public.
I'll skip some of this because I know this wasn't actually happening. But Saber did inform me that Nick kissed Judy.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because then Saber walks up, and I guess he's like, hey, so for this picture, I just want Judy, I want Nick to be like over there. And Nick's like, oh, fine. And it's, the people who play these characters are fantastic. So like Nick was like complete Nick character, just like, oh, okay, screw it, that's fine. I'll just be over here with my arms crossed, not caring, whatever. and so Judy, so there's a video that Saber did where he's hugging Judy and basically like, good on you, Judy. And then he starts shaking his finger at Nick and being like, Nick. And it's hilarious because Judy's doing everything she can to get Saber to hug Nick. and he's like walking over. Saber's literally hugging Judy while they're walking, and Judy's like, "Come on, come on!" And you hear Saber go, "No, I don't want him," like a little kid. No. And then Judy, like, I guess you don't see this all in the video, but Saber was saying how Judy apparently like turned on him. It was like put her like arms on her hips, and it was like, well, fine, go away. Don't mess with my lover. So that's obviously what she was saying. Yep. But yeah, I that was funny. And then I guess there was another moment that they had, and I'm sure we'll talk about this with him when they're on the podcast in 2 weeks. But he was also saying how then Laura went up to get her picture, and I guess like Nick was being like all like, "Why, hello," with her, and Laura cracked a joke saying, "Hey, we switched boyfriends." I guess like she said that to Judy. And Nick like kind of responded and was like pointing at Judy's ears, and Saber initially thought like he was saying like no, but I'm like, no, Saber, he was saying that Laura's ears aren't long enough for Nick's taste.
Oh, is that what his taste is? Long ears?
He's into that, man.
I mean,
something to grab onto.
Like, what?
No, I was just saying there's something to grab onto.
Family friendly podcast.
Oh please, the first
It's
thing
not.
Sarah said was motherfucker.
It's not a family friendly podcast.
But we dress it up like it is, so then the parents don't. That sounds. Anyways, so this whole thing. Do you guys have any other comments in regards to this comic?
I don't think
I think
so.
it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh man, who would have saw
Yeah.
this coming?
Yeah.
Man.
I guess another thing that we could possibly like glance over is some upcoming movies, especially like Star Wars coming out pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's
so
excited.
We're not gonna touch any spoilers or anything.
No.
In fact, I haven't really seen much trailers anyways, but
Me
yeah.
either. It's weird because of all the movies I've seen this year, I've barely seen the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah. No, I literally forgot that it was coming out so soon. I was like, because we were at the theater yesterday and Race was like, oh yeah, people are probably getting ready for Star Wars to come out because it was really empty when we went. And I was like, when is that coming out? He's like, like really, what day is it coming out? Like this week or next week?
Yeah, his coming out on my birthday, Friday.
Oh, Friday. So yeah, I was like, really? Yeah, it's coming up real quick. But yeah.
But more of a story is Ferdinand is coming starring John Cena.
John Cena.
Which I probably will see this weekend.
You should see that
Why do
before
you
Star.
spend money on bad movies? Why?
I have Movie Pass.
I actually met the woman that like started like she wrote the screenplay, I think, of Ferdinand. She did say that a lot of stuff was changed when she signed up with the studio, but yeah, it was cool meeting her. She was writing a book, and I was working at a creative agency at my school at the time, so I mean, she seemed like a very nice person. But it's
Nice.
it's an interesting movie.
So when are you guys seeing Star Wars?
Nah, I mean, I don't want Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Well, me and Race are probably
I'm
gonna
one
wait
of those weirdos.
a week or two. 'Cause-
Weirdos.
Yeah, I might try seeing it tomorrow night since they show it tomorrow night at my theater. Depending on if like
Good luck.
me and my dad can get tickets in time.
Yeah. Is
Nah,
it not sold
yeah.
out?
I don't know. Let me look.
Yeah, me and Race are probably gonna wait like a week or two before we even try to go see that movie because it's gonna be bouncing at the theater. Yeah.
I don't care that much to see it that soon.
Yeah.
I've already blocked the one person that was very unforgiving in posting spoilers from the last movie
Oh yeah.
on Facebook. Yeah, it was like, it's a guy that I knew. It was like basically a friend of a friend, and he
Mhm.
posted it, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, if that happens, that's stupid, but there's no way someone would do that, be that much of a dick. And then it happened in the movie, and I'm pretty sure like the second that credits started rolling, I pulled out my phone and just hit unfriend, block, delete from life. I was like, that is a dick move. So
Mhm.
And a couple of
It
trailers.
was like this whole movement on the internet. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, let's be all together on this. Don't spoil Star Wars. I
Yeah.
remember that. I was like, whoa, everyone's like broing together to not spoil this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my theater is playing it 5 times tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like because they're playing like a 6 p.m. like fan event
Mhm.
opening, and then there's a 2D showing at 7 and 10:15, and a 3D showing at 7 and 10:15.
and they're still openings.
Damn. Cool.
See, Star Wars is gonna fail.
No.
Probably not even make like $100.
Another couple of trailers dropped. Jurassic World 2.
Yeah.
Anybody see that one?
You know this word
Am I
there.
the only one
Yeah,
excited?
yeah, yeah. Looks fun.
So I want to discuss that trailer, but I don't know if people would consider it spoilers.
Well, that's the first trailer.
So no, those aren't spoilers.
Not really.
All I'm saying is there was something. I'm glad I saw the trailer when I saw it, which was last night.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, but the reason that Sarah showed it to me was, what were we? Oh, I think I was talking about the Who's Line or something
Yeah.
from EQLA, and I turned to her and I'm like, because life will find a way.
And I was like, oh, speaking of, you still need to watch this trailer.
And of course, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I have to watch because of that. And I was like, please say it. And then
He
I was
does.
so happy.
And then I'm actually
I love how they
pretty.
even had him pause. Like everybody knew like that was like part internet meme coming back into a trailer. They're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, he said it. I'm pretty stoked about the Into the Spider-Verse movie that Sony Pictures Animation's turning out. I really enjoyed that trailer. It looks really cool.
well, after movies like the Emoji Movie, how could you not be excited?
No, but
The
this looks
upcoming
really
Peter
cool. Oh yeah, I mean, Sony Pictures Animation doesn't have great, you know.
No.
Yeah,
But
it seems like
this-
more this one.
Yeah, this looks really cool, and I hope it's good. Like the animation style is right up my alley. It's so good looking.
Oh my gosh.
Hope it's good.
So you said Peter Rabbit, and something just crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That movie looks like it's gonna be like the next B movie in regards to like a weird,
Or like kind of Alvin and the Chipmunks or Hop or whatever.
well, like
Those
it
kinds of
just,
movies.
It just, I get the impression that there's gonna be like a love interest between the rabbit and the human.
I
my
don't
God.
think so, but
You watch.
I
You
don't think
watch.
so.
It's gonna be like, no, I'm banging her, and then the guy's like, ew.
Yeah.
You're way too into rabbits.
Me?
It's the long ears.
I'm thinking Arby's. I should go to Disneyland with a Arby's bag and get a picture with Nick.
Oh my,
Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
I wonder if they would do that. Like I wonder if they would not take that picture because it'd be like a product.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Like, I
know.
honestly wonder.
You were like, please, you have to do this.
Be like, can you hold this bag while we take this picture? Thank you.
Moondust
Photoshop
Shadow
Arby's onto it.
in the chat just says a Woody Woodpecker movie just dropped. How do you make a Woody the Woodpecker
God.
movie?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll have to. Is it a trailer? I guess I'll have to
Yeah.
look for it. Okay, well, I'll have to look for it. Sounds interesting. So, anything else anybody wants to talk about other than holidays? upcoming holidays? No?
Yeah, so there is something I will want to talk about, and I think we might wait to do this. Well, I guess I'll bring it up now, but
Okay.
but still keep it on the DL with avoiding spoilers, because there might be some people who haven't had a chance to see it yet. But you guys, I think, had all seen Coco.
I
Yeah.
have not.
Oh,
You
wait.
haven't seen
Yeah.
Coco yet.
No, not yet.
Are you gonna see it by the time we
This
do the next
weekend.
podcast?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, don't rush. There's no rush. Whoa.
That would be
Gabe is in the
Black
house.
Griffin.
Hey.
Hi. Sing
Hi.
the thing.
The mirror staring back at me. Oh.
Oh man, do you hear
Are you
that?
in a studio?
Right. That's weird. Like, where are you?
How you have like the echo and everything going.
Oh, that's something I learned to do with my voice. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm
You
in my
create reverb with your voice.
Yeah, it's one of my impressions.
Outstanding.
Oh, Moondust Shadow says in the chat, Frozen Short puts me off from watching Coco. It's no longer in front of
It's
Coco.
not.
You can watch Coco without the short. It's no longer there.
As of the
It was
Why?
only there for the first 2 weeks, and
Why?
Disney was like, that was always apparently a part of the plan. That's what they say. That's what Disney says. Oh, it was
why-
always part of the plan that we were going to get rid of the short.
Why would you bother seeing Coco if you can't watch the Frozen short before it? Why?
I'm on the complete opposite side of that spectrum.
Why?
Yeah, Coco isn't about Christmas.
Coco's gonna be after it.
You finally have a movie about another holiday, and you gotta put Christmas in front of it. Okay, I see how it is.
Dude, let it go, okay? Let it go.
Let it go. So I again, I'm not going to discuss any spoilers for the movie, but I feel like the movie's getting a good rap, and it's a very good movie.
Yo, I'm Coco.
Yo, that was a great song in it, by the way.
I'm a girlfriend, she ain't know how.
But I feel like, and I don't know, man. It might just be me, but Sarah and I had this discussion. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about what it is.
Yeah, we watched it again last night at the theater.
Yeah, we've seen it
2 times.
twice now, and
Oh, so have I.
it's.
Nice.
I feel like there's some stuff in the movie that I really want to discuss that is kind of being, I don't know, that I haven't seen a lot of people discuss, which usually I'm like, huh, a lot of movie people usually say did you notice this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to at all touch what it has to
If
do
you're doing
with,
it from my
but-
side, mute.
No, I'm doing it for
you.
I'm doing it for you and the audience. But yeah,
I'm doing it for you. And I'm
there's-
doing
there's-
it for me. I'm so glad people got that. Otherwise, it was gonna sound really stupid.
Wait, what is that from?
Lion King 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was going to get on test track
What?
and hop on the cast.
Oh my gosh.
They closed down test track for the night, and I was like,
Oh.
No, get on Aerosmith. Get on Aerosmith.
Card.
"What's that?"
Go on the Aerosmith ride.
No, we were at Epcot,
Ah.
and they were shutting it down early for the night, and it's funny because Laura's like, "Yeah, we'll hit up test track," because we had dinner, and she went and hit some shops up, and right when we got it was a minute after, and sorry, closed. And I looked at Laura, and I'm like, "Is it worth it?" Worth it?
You have ruined this entire vacation.
She looks so sad. She's like, "No."
Aw.
I went on 4 times a few nights ago because they had this. We're part of the Disney Vacation Club, and they basically told all the normies to get the heck out of the park, and folks who were left over were like hanging out, and it's there's only a couple thousand in the park,
Yeah.
and I did track 3 or 4 times in a row, like just no line. It was fantastic. It was great. Other little kid, I'm like, let's do it again. And just running through the gift shop and outside. But no, it's been great. We're back at the condo. I just wanted to talk to you guys before the podcast was over. I'm just kind of here in the back porch.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for
we're not even
joining.
done yet.
Oh, cool. I might join y'all for a bit because they're all inside chilling out, and I'm just gonna pull up a chair and chat with you guys.
Do it. Gabe, real quick. Are you able to turn yourself up?
What's that?
I'm talking to Gabe.
He asked me to get turned.
Turn
Can you
up, son.
turn upwards?
I'm gonna turn. It's gonna be so turned, like a turtle.
Sarah, I didn't send you this. Did I send you the Wreck-It Ralph picture?
No.
Oh, they have a Christmas parade, and they had Ralph on the float dancing around.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen the float that you're talking about.
He's dressed
Cool.
up as like a Christmas character, like Father Christmas or whatever. Not Santa,
Yeah.
but the other one. So it was cool. No, it's been great.
So we were discussing a comic that came out earlier about Zootopia, and you had a run-in with Judy and Nick.
Yeah, so we were at Tomorrowland yesterday, and it was during the
That was amazing.
What happened?
Tomorrowland yesterday.
Is that why you're all laughing?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
I think
funny.
just clicked.
We were in
Because you
Tomorrowland.
said it completely unironically, like just matter of fact.
I was
Nick and Judy were at
legit-
Tomorrowland.
Didn't even occur to me. So yeah, we were there though, last night, and yeah. So we were at Tomorrowland, and Laura and I we got on the People Mover because we never done that. Actually, it goes to like Space Mountain and
Yeah.
different parts of Tomorrowland. It was nice, and then we drove us, and we saw Nick and Judy, and I was like, Judy!
What has race done to you?
So, as we were going over, because we went down there, some other folks shouted down. I'm like, oh yeah, they definitely could have heard me scream that. That wasn't like some kind of like noise gap. But we went down there. We waited for about 40 minutes. There was one girl who got in line, and she was like in college, or whatever,
Mhm.
and she gave a hug.
Your mom
She
goes
started-
to college.
She started crying super hard. And then her boyfriend started crying, and Nick and Judy were like hugging them and loving on them. I'm like,
Oh
what a bunch of
gosh.
wussies. And Nick
Furries.
Wopia fans. And so the idea here was I was going to shun Nick for what he did to Judy. And I told Laura to film it. And the idea was the ultimate plan was to go up there, get things going with the video camera, then take a picture of me like hugging Judy and Laura hugging Judy, and then like looking over my shoulder, scolding Nick like, "Shame on you." But it backfired. So I went up and gave Judy a hug. I'm like, "Yeah, Judy," and then I unhugged her, and then I like looked at Nick, and I was like, "Not you, Nick. You're a bad guy." And he's like holding his arms, like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And then like Judy gets angry at me for like calling Nick out, and Judy's like got her hands on her hip like an angry mom. And I'm like, "What am I doing?" I'm like, "I'm defending you." And then I realized
Love is
like
blind.
I guess context is important.
Yeah.
And then then they both are like giving me a hard time, and I'm like, "You're nice to the Japanese like couple who was just ahead of me. Why are you being mean to me?"
Well, because you were being mean first.
So, but ultimately, then Laura walked up, and then Nick and Judy started hugging on her, and I got the cold shoulder. And I'm like, "What the heck? Like this all backfired." I'm like, just like the comment, like it backfired. And but then we all got pictures. It was great, and they even like danced and like kissed each other, like not during our time, but beforehand, and like we're hugging on each other. And I'm like, Jeffrey would love this. He would enjoy it. So no, it was fun. This has been a great trip. And since we went earlier this year, it's a little bit less hectic. Like, I mean, tonight we're like, let's just go head back and get ready for tomorrow morning at Animal Kingdom because we're going to try going on the Pandora ride with Avatar.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Yeah, aren't the lines for that ride like still ridiculous?
like 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
Do they have a fast pass for it?
No, we're just going to get the
Oh,
first
God.
thing. We're driving my car over because the DVC stuff has like a lot of cool perks, and one of them is like free parking. So we're going to take my car and get there first thing, and and run through the gates and push people over and get to
Isn't that
Avatar.
weird that's a perk
That's
we
weird
get
that they
excited
don't have
over
a
now?
fast pass.
What's that, Hero?
Isn't that weird that there's like a perk that we have to get excited over? It's like, oh man, free parking. I can stop somewhere.
Wow. People use the internet without being charged for per website. I laughed so hard last night when I discovered that Roy Moore lost in Alabama. Like I was like in line at like to meet Jack Skellington, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh my god!" and I was like shouting. I was like, "Shut up!" And I'm like, "No, I'm like, you don't get it. The Republican lost Alabama.
In
gotta
Alabama,
Mhm.
right?
That is
the
pretty
biggest
funny,
piece
actually.
of filth to lose in Alabama." That's like a Democrat like losing in like California and New York. It's like unheard of.
That's
Minnesota.
True. That is
In Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, I think
We're
the
not-
last time.
California's not that lucky, Saber.
I think the last time a Republican or like, a Democrat lost in Minnesota was like the 70s, I think.
Yeah, it's been blue
It
for
was-
a long time.
Yeah.
Not to switch to politics from Disney, but like it's been
They're
no,
basically the same thing.
well with the we were laughing at dinner time saying like Disney's gonna buy Universal and just tear it down and build like Star Wars Land or something.
They'll
Another
actually
one.
build an actual TIE fighter, and when they buy Universal, they'll film the TIE fighter shooting it with lasers.
All these little
That would be
minions
so
and, like,
awesome. Oh my
getting chased
gosh.
down, and like Homer Simpson like getting chased down.
No!
Harry Potter.
Wow.
But
Isn't it like
Outstanding.
4 or 3 different companies technically?
I don't know. It's a big old
Because
threesome.
you said Minions, that's Universal, yeah.
Oh, by the
Simpsons
way,
is Fox.
Universal
Harry
owns
Potter
a
is
lot of
Warner
yellow
Brothers.
characters.
Paleo. Those dolphins just do not give a damn
Yeah,
about.
I know that there's like a Simpsons land in Universal, so they like Fox put their stuff there. So I don't know what's going on with them.
Paleo.
What?
The dolphins just did not care about the hair comb at all.
Oh really?
They just they're a bunch of like
You have to do this. You have to go like that.
I did that after taco night.
No, that
I'm doing
works.
that right
That's
now.
how I got a beluga to come up and put its rostrum on my hand.
It's
It's
I
what?
think it's hard.
It's
because
that
it's
sounds
so-
what?
There's so much happening around the aquarium,
Mouth.
like with the machines and everything. So
Right.
Well, I think the difference is that
Gosh,
Paleo was
strong.
communicating with 2 gay dolphins.
that's right.
So,
gay dolphins in my country. No, sir.
Also, there wasn't really a lot around for them to like hear, so like yeah,
No, you're just a dolphin whisperer. Don't worry about it.
yeah, they just don't like you, Saber.
I mean,
No, it was a fun trip. It's been great.
Cool.
nice. Well, we're jealous.
Yeah.
same. I get to go to South Dakota tomorrow though, so that's an
It's
experience.
basically the same thing, dude. What are you talking
Basically.
Hooray!
What do you do there? No offense, like people who live there, but like, what do you do there? Like literally.
Well,
Um,
the
What I do
entire
there is if I
population's
get paid to
cowboy
go up
days.
and do something, I'll do it.
I heard that, Saber.
look for fossils. I don't know.
Yeah, I have some fossils. The Badlands
Yeah.
isn't bad.
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore is there. Most people don't know that.
Russia.
Rushmore. Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore.
Are there any like entertainment opportunities in South Dakota?
I think they have a movie theater.
One movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'd go look for fossils.
Yeah. I
Do you know how to do that?
actually the Badlands. There are lots of fossils there, and they're pretty
Yeah.
easy to find.
The Badlands, the level 40 area in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, with the line.
Yes.
Guys, I know how to search for fossils. You take a shotgun, you point it to the ground. I saw this at the beginning of Jurassic Park.
So you
That
better come
that
out.
wasn't a shotgun.
Guys, I kid you not. I just saw a shooting star go over the sky in Disney World.
That's
It's the
weird.
coolest thing
Usually it
ever.
goes under.
Make a wish for Zootopia. Zootopia sequel wish.
I wish they never make a sequel.
Oh!
I hope that Judy's next premeditated sin is to quit the showbiz business.
The showbiz business.
Oh,
Yes,
this
okay,
guy.
tomorrow.
Here's a rabbit.
I'm trying to think of any other stories I can share with you guys from Disney, but I can't think of it at the moment.
You can-
It's like the happiest place on earth, and everything's magical.
It is. I literally saw a shooting star. Like, I'm kind of surprised with all the light pollution.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool.
It hit Universal.
It's probably like some like alien pod in there or something crawling out.
Can you use pollution in that manner? Use pollution as just like a disturbance? Is
What are you
that
talking
is that
about?
word?
Light pollution?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's when like I guess like city lights like glow across the sky and it prevents you from seeing like stars and nebulas.
This is why I love Arizona.
I actually didn't know you could use that word that way. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a thing. That's what it's actually called that. That's like the official term. But because there's so many observatories on the mountains in southern Arizona, because the atmosphere is so clear there, not a lot of humidity. It's actually required that you don't use lights that would cause light pollution. So all the city is very low, very dim and like low spectrum lights. They're all like deep orange. So the sky is really awesome in Arizona.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I should go camping one time so I can actually like see a star in my life.
Oh my gosh. I would die. I would die.
I live in the city. There's
I
light.
could not.
Hero, we
gonna
should go
though.
up to the mountains. Okay.
Man, but there's like bugs and they like bite you, and I might die via a bear.
Yeah, that's
I don't
called
wanna do that.
nature.
Nature's
Yeah,
scary.
we can go look for salamanders. I know how to do that.
That is something you know how to do.
You take a shotgun and you point it toward the.
Oh, so when Laura and I went to go see Star Lord, my parting words were "Good luck in Jurassic World." I mean, he goes, "We're gonna try our best."
Alright. Well, should we get into...
Star-Lord looks more like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. It's pretty great.
See those mountains over there? I better throw them right off the mountains.
Are you serious? I'm dead serious. Alright, y'all still
Well,
Q&A?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll be quiet now.
Well, we're
No.
about to get into Q&A.
Yeah.
So for those watching, go ahead and submit your questions. Last topic I'm going to bring up is Bronies React. The Bronies React to Perfect Pair has been this week, and progress has gone really well with it. I'm probably going to have a video, not Bronies React, uploaded, I think, tomorrow, which involves me singing Christmas songs after they drilled my mouth.
Yes.
And yeah. So the stuff they used to numb my mouth didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second time. So I got like 3 doses of that crap,
Oh,
and
wow.
my whole face like turned numb on the left side. So I'm like, I'm gonna sing Christmas songs on my drive home, and I did. And I couldn't. It killed Sarah when I showed her this stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's pretty bad. Not to mention my like throat was dry, which I didn't account for because they're like sucking out your saliva the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm like singing and choking on my own nothing. So yeah. So I even call out Gabe in the video.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm a
Aw.
better singer.
You love me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of, by the way, as I get into the Bronies Track, Who's Line from Equestria LA has been uploaded.
Hooray.
Lot of song stuff from there. That was a really fun send-off for Equestria LA, so that was good times there, guys.
Yeah. That was
So-
that was one of the best, I thought.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun. Like, we were able to get some quality time in there and hang out with everybody. It was good.
Yep.
Good. So Bronies React. Perfect Pair, as I said, is in the works. I'm in the late stages of editing for this Bronies React, which means it should be out in the next couple of days, definitely within the next week. So yeah, just piecing together final edits. I still got about a good chunk of editing to go, but I have a couple days here where I'll be working towards that. So that is going to be coming out very soon. It's obviously an emotional react. We'll see which reactors break down into tears.
You cut my teary-eyed parts, right? Because I
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it
I
wasn't,
cut
I didn't cry. I'm strong,
Strong.
independent,
Terrorist strong.
black woman.
Terrorist. Not. So yeah, so that's gonna be coming out. Sarah, should we move on to Q&A?
Yeah. All right. So first question here is from Cake Slayer, asking, "What is Hirosashii's favorite anime and thoughts on the new one called Made in Abyss?"
Made in Abyss Paleo, is that the one you?
That's not the one that I've been watching,
Made in
but I
Abyss.
do want to watch that one too because it looks really neat.
I heard about it. Oh, is it the one with the rabbit thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Dude, I've
Rabbit?
been meaning to watch that. It looks super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I'll totally watch it and get back to you next time. I'm also watching Black Mirror right now, so I'll have to like split up the time. But yeah, I totally wanted to watch that because somebody made like a comic I saw recently. I was like, oh, this is super cute. My favorite anime is Clannad After Story because I like being the saddest man on the planet. Apparently. Nothing is off limits in that show.
Cake Slayer also asks, "Paleo, are you excited? Mega Man 11 was announced, and what are your thoughts on the Breath of the Wild DLC 2 trailer, and all that stuff? And Race, should he do more art?"
Yes, do more art.
Paleo, Mega Man 11.
I'm very glad that it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not like the biggest Mega Man fan. I've played a couple of the games, but I'm super glad that it looks really cool.
Nice.
And I downloaded the DLC because I didn't get the first pack, so I just got the I had like a Best Buy rewards card, so I downloaded that in Sonic Mania. So I'm gonna play through the DLC at some points. I do like Breath of the Wild a lot, so I'm excited to play it again.
Nice. We've got a question from Aleximus. Okay, my Alexa didn't go off. Oh wait. Okay, we're good.
Hey, Alexa.
She can't hear you. Sorry. Asking, ACRacebest and Saberspark, I'm a bit new to the panel running scene, but the not horse famous panels seem to go well with you guys. Do you have any advice for in the future?
Have fun.
Yeah. As long as y'all are having fun. I'm hearing myself from somebody.
It might be me. I don't know.
It's
Probably me.
Have
Wearing
fun.
headphones.
A little bit of prep time can help depending on the panel. Don't take it too seriously. Is also an important thing. Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing to lose sleep or stress out about. A lot of these panels I think are best run on an improvised level where you're willing to go with the flow and not have things too set in stone. In regards to having a plan is good. So I as far as like your stuff went, you kind of had a format that you were looking to go with, but I mean, like Saber said, have fun with it, and I mean it becomes the more you do, it's really doing them that I guess is like the best way to get used to doing them and seeing where things can improve. Like, I mean, there's still times where Saber and I will do a panel and be like, it might be better if we did something a little differently with this, or duct taped Gabe's mouth or something. So
Careful with that one.
Careful, man.
Yes, be careful, because if any, just be careful.
Don't give Nora any ideas.
All right.
I'm referring to the time that Michelle put duct tape. You guys were there. Michelle put duct tape on her mouth when we were unwrapping those boxes. And then Monique's like, "Oh, we should take a picture of this," and you should be like,
Oh, I
Silent
forgot
Night."
about that.
Yeah, and then
Why'd you bring it
then
up?
4chan's like,
2000.
"Oh, sucks."
All right.
Look at me.
Ozzy asks, Thoughts on Olt's Frozen Adventure being removed from theaters? Good. Olaf.
Good. I don't think, especially for like parents accompanying their children, I'm pretty sure they did not want to watch a 22-minute short or 21 or however long it is right before it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any point in going to see Coco now.
Stop it.
You know what really bothers me
Hot
though
cocoa count.
is they removed the 20-minute Frozen short from The Last Jedi too, and I don't want to see the movie anymore.
It's gonna tank. No one's gonna go.
I don't want to see it, dude. Laura got upset.
Use
I
the
don't blame her.
force.
We went on Star Tours, and Laura hates spoilers. And what do? They put a scene from the movie in the ride.
What?
It's like here's the battle scene with the yada yadas.
Oh my gosh.
It's like what?
Why do people not care?
Because Laura made a good point. It's like I said, maybe it's for promotional purposes, and Laura's like, for what? Star Wars? Everyone's gonna see Star Wars.
Whoa, they did that. I would have. Wow, I'm actually. Ugh.
Yeah,
I'd be
it was
really
a Force
upset.
Awakens because it was the escape from the dock, and then it was Force Awakens with the TIE fighter through like on the sand planet with the Millennium Falcon, and then we jump space into like another planet with the Last Jedi, and because as soon as it happened, I'm like, Laura, look away. like Jesus Christ.
Don't stare into its eyes.
Oh.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Next question. Well, actually, it's not a question, but I still want to read it. It's from.
I'll keep going.
Okay. It's from Haruka Takahashi, I think is how it's pronounced. And it is towards ACRacebest. You better show 2 new bronies react to season 7, ep 25 and 26, and about the Apple's parents, please, this month. It's coming.
One of them's coming.
One of them's coming.
Well, one of them, my anticipation. So we're gonna have one of those release. Yeah. You reactors, by the way. I'm gonna be sending stuff out. I need footage for the next react.
I know.
That goes for the guy who said I know, and Gabe. I don't have your footage, do I?
No, you're right. I have been. Yeah, I've been abnormally busy, but this is a first for me.
Well, I haven't started editing it, so it's not late. I just want to make sure you guys know I'm going to need that footage.
Yeah, I just don't know when I'll be able to record, like within the next couple weeks, because Christmas.
Christmas is one day.
Okay, let's move to the next question, because this has turned much longer than I thought it would.
I'm back.
Alright, Ozzy Al asks.
I want to try. No, wait,
fuck.
Wait.
Okay.
I want to try something.
She didn't hear you. Alright, Azael asks, thoughts on Ryan Reynolds was cast as Pikachu in Detective Pikachu?
What?
Ryan Reynolds is going to be playing Detective Pikachu in the movie Detective Pikachu.
In
There is a movie Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a live-action CGI hybrid movie coming out in 2019 called Detective Pikachu, which is based on it's based on a game that's only in Japan right now.
Yeah.
Called Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Adorable. Oh my god.
I kind of really wish that they got Danny DeVito. Because that fan-made video with Danny DeVito's voice was pretty great.
From what I hear, they asked him, and Danny DeVito was like, I don't know what Pokemon is.
Oh! It's a paycheck, Danny! Oh!
Paycheck? We talking about Frank.
I just see that as the appropriate response from Frank Reynolds. I don't know what Pokemon is.
Alright, so Ozzy has another question here. I'm gonna revise it a little bit, just so because I know that nobody really wants to get into spoilers or anything. But the question is, are you looking forward? Oh wait, no, this isn't a spoiler at all. I read this weird the first time. Are you looking forward to Star Wars? Answer that question first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, spoilers.
No, I thought it said, who are you looking forward to? And I'm like, I don't know why he would ask that. But now I realize I don't know where I got who from. So actually, this is not. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Anyone?
I don't know.
Empire.
I've only seen 4, 5, 6, and 1. So
You guys are gonna hate me, but I really like the Phantom Menace just because of the lightsaber battles and the pod racing and the hilarious acting.
The one with Jar Jar Binks.
And Jar Jar Binks, man, he's the
Jar
best.
Jar. He is the best.
This pod racing. He says right before he gets the DUI.
How wooed?
All right. Ross Pitt asks.
The Brisky morning munching, then boom, getting very scared and grabbing the Jedi and pow, Stitch.
Okay. Ross Pitt asks, "Dear Semi-Perfect Pod, I heard ACRacebest on a new Scooter Tricks, sorry, episode. How was it working for them?" Race.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, there is an abridged series done by Scooter Tricks, where they have this whole story. I think they're 23 episodes into it, and they asked me to do a voice for Granny Smith in it, and I warned them ahead of time. I'm like, just so you know, when it comes to voice acting,
I'm not good at it.
I am really good. Well, it's just I haven't done it. I haven't done a lot of it. So I didn't, I just didn't want them to go in thinking like, this is something that I've done a lot or regularly.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, all good. And so it was cool. Working with them and going through the voice lines and everything. I forget if the main person's name, if they go by Scooter Tricks, or if that's like the group, but yeah, it was cool. It like the voice. I think the voice session that I did lasted about an hour. So I was taking direction and going through it, and I had to be Granny Smith, and it's an interesting thing staying in character as Granny Smith and having to do funny lines and then doing like emotional lines. So. But yeah, so that's if you want to check it out, Scooter Tricks with an X.
Yeah,
that's
at the end.
That's how you can find it. I retweeted it, so it's out there. But it was fun.
Cool.
It was I'm glad they had me part of it. Sarah had to listen to me try to be Granny Smith for an hour.
Yeah. Ozzy also asks, "What's your favorite Christmas specials and movies?" Pretty much anything Muppets.
I said it on the POS podcast too, but well, like it's not good, but like I really enjoy all of the other reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, dude. It's not the best. It's like it's passable. It's like a 6.5 out of 10, I would say. But the Hey Arnold Christmas special is just so good. It's just so freaking good.
Oh yeah, one I thought of as far as like a special or whatever. There's so many different versions of the Christmas Carol, but I really like the Mickey Mouse one.
The very short one, the 30-minute one.
Yeah.
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
I've told Sarah, I'm impressed how short they're able to make that story.
Yeah.
Like we just got done watching Disney's A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. Who's
the motion capture one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like
the scariest one of all.
I didn't like it when it first came out. I felt like it was a letdown, and the more I watch it, the more I'm like, I don't know, I find it endearing on a scale. Like I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's grown on me.
Face on Earth.
Look down here. I've come to dinner. If you'll have me. No, like there's some good things that movie does, and then there's some like questionable things that movie does.
I want to know who it is. It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
It's
I love how you can just things up. But I'm gonna say I think How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey is actually my favorite Christmas movie.
Are you having a Merry Christmas?
Holly jolly Christmas.
I just love
How dare you enter the Grinch's lair? The impotence! The audacity!
The unmitigated gall!
Now get ready for the boom! Gaze into the face of fear. Booga booga!
Oh my goodness.
I love the scene when he's like scooting along in his like robe and he's just like is nuts.
Okay, let's not quote the Grinch the rest of the
whole movie,
podcast.
wait,
We gotta
yeah,
get
no,
to
what
more
else?
questions.
I like a lot of like. One thing I love about Christmas, or at least Christmas movies, is like the soundtracks in them for some reason. I feel like are really. Oh,
The best one is Polar Express.
Polar Express
Oh my
is
gosh.
incredible. And then like I love Home Alone also.
Yes.
So much
My favorite
fun.
Polar Express is just the ooh, ooh, ooh.
I'm losing you, but I know exactly what
You are. Am I just messing up?
it's like.
It's the Josh Groban one.
Yeah.
Blah blah, Josh Groban. Where did I go? I disappeared. Michael Bublé replaced me.
All right, next question. Sketchy asks, since it's my birthday is in a few days, happy birthday. Have any funny birthday stories?
I remember when my friends all came over to my house, and everybody laughed at like he was a really close friend of mine when I was young, and now like I have no idea where he exists.
Yep, that happens.
But his name was Daryl, and he farted, and everyone laughed, and he was like really upset, and I had to like play like moderator, like okay, you guys apologize to Daryl so we can continue on, even though I thought it was funny that he farted too. But
It happens to everyone.
You have to be the bigger
It's a
person.
normal biological thing.
another birthday.
now.
Oh yeah. The Gabe, what do you think of that comic that came out? By the way,
Oh.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been doing nothing but music.
haven't seen it. Look at the Arby's one. That's all we're gonna say.
Okay.
We'll
see
talk
the
about
one
it
with
next time.
I have one saved on my phone where Judy's like, look at the bottom left of the previous panel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Race had to
what?
explain that one to me. I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's
It
the same.
means that he's doing fine.
Okay.
It's the okay sign.
All right. Anybody else have any funny birthday stories for Sketchy?
Man, my life was boring.
The first time I ever saw the sunrise was at Tommy's birthday party,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I regretted it because it sucks when you stay up all night, and I found that out. Because then
To be
you
honest,
just...
I'm thinking Arby's.
Yeah.
Adorable. He's got a scratch on his face and he's crying.
Yeah.
you need
gotta
to, you
read-
need to, if
you
you
gotta read
haven't,
it.
you need to read that whole thing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to it now. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Silver Blaze asks, in honor of Star Wars coming out this Friday, what color lightsaber would you like if you could choose?
Oh, that's the best question.
Turquoise.
Yeah.
Is that your
Blue's-
favorite
blue's
color?
good. Plaid. I do. Well, they mean things. You know, the kyber crystals change color based on the motivation of the Jedi. So green has something to do with, I think, like that your goal is to, like, your quest is to further the light side of the Force. Blue are peace seekers. Red is either a synthetic kyber crystal or
So
a
what's-
damaged kyber crystal that's been warped by the dark side of the Force and basically bleeds internally.
What's
Because
purple?
kyber crystals are naturally purple didn't exist until they got Samuel L. Jackson. He
Yeah.
requires that something purple be in every movie he's in.
Yeah.
So he's like, y'all guys gonna give me a purple lightsaber. And so they did.
So they didn't bother to think of what purple would mean. I guess.
No. They didn't. So it's not in the canon lore. It doesn't actually say what purple's for because it doesn't
Darn.
exist. Yellow is interesting. You don't see them often, but yellow is a lightsaber that's used communally. So when the Jedi Knights actually had like Jedi who would not have their own lightsaber yet when they were in training, they had like a whole bunch of lightsabers that they could just practice and train with, and they were typically yellow. I shouldn't know all this. I feel like-
No. I would want mine to be TV static.
And every single time like it hits another saber, it would be that the color screen sound, like the yeah.
Flash every time they flashed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
On the cards are
No, my lightsaber would be saber.
Oh,
Just Saberspark.
that color.
Hey. That'd be awesome.
Let's see. Sketchy also asks, for Hirosashii, do you speak Japanese? If so, how did you learn it and was it difficult?
I do. I mean, I can speak it conversationally. I can't like go talk about like governmental issues in Japanese or like read a
Well, that's
newspaper.
all I can do. So like,
Like-
powers combined,
Then we could be one Japanese
we're one
person.
Japanese man.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned it in a bunch of places. I learned it from basically being interested in the language.
Naruto.
Yes, I learned it all from Naruto, exactly. I started taking classes in high school because my high school offered it, interestingly enough. I was like, and I had a friend at the time that spoke Japanese. She like just transferred from Japan to the US. And I wanted to speak to her because she seemed cool, but she couldn't speak English and I couldn't speak Japanese. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn Japanese. And
That's
I did
cool.
not let it in time to speak to her at all.
Aw.
But that was all right. But through learning it, I was like, oh, let's continue learning it. I was like, I like anime anyway, why not? So I continued learning Japanese through schooling. And then I took Japanese in school for a collective 6 years, sorry.
Nice.
And then since then, it's just kind of been self-study. I open my own textbooks, read through them. Reading visual novels actually is crazy good for your Japanese. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. So, yeah. And also playing games with people. I don't anymore, but I used to play a game called Tails Weaver with a Japanese guild. And they always want to... I think Japanese people are really fascinated in foreigners because they're like, oh, you want to get on Skype? You want to get on Skype? I really want to talk to you on Skype. I was like, all right, sure. So then, like, I got on Skype and they're like, oh, yasuminasai. I was like, oh, jeez, I can't. You're actually speaking Japanese and I have to speak it back to you. This is
Oyasuminasai
really
is
good night.
afternoon, isn't it? Or good night, yeah.
Yeah, good night. I mean, it was nighttime for them, so.
Yeah.
But,
Ohagosaimasu, and then there's
like,
yeah,
I can't participate in this conversation, but I did to the best of my ability, and then you get better over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I learned
That's
Japanese.
cool.
Just being persistent and
still
being
died,
interested in it.
Cool. Menorah Mermaid asks, of course, it's for Gabe. Her question is, who are your top 3 favorite YouTubers at the moment?
excluding myself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just kidding. That was nobody laughed, and now I feel like
I gave you a pity laugh, okay?
I smiled.
I know he's serious. He's pretending he's joking, but he's serious.
None of us.
Well, I liked science channels, so I would not like my channel. I would not subscribe to myself. I'm into. So I like.
Isn't that the worst? Like,
Yeah, I
because I wouldn't subscribe to myself either. I can not.
yeah, it's like I guess it's because what I create feels like work, and so I don't really follow, other people who create the same thing. So like I like a lot of YouTube channels, and I like a lot of what people do, but I would say the channels that I check back at consistently are Kurzgesagt in a nutshell, Vsauce, and that I count all 3, Vsauce 1, 2, and 3, and then there's another one that Grant Thompson's fun, but he's not one of my favorite. I like Colin Furze. He's really cool. And Tucker Gott. I'm really into Tucker Gott right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nikki D says, I'm not too sure how big of football people you are, but let me ask you this. How about them Eagles? I don't care about football, so I don't know about them Eagles.
Football, they scored a good home run. They down.
I just know that the Dolphins did good the other day.
Nice.
You would
Good
know
on
that.
them Dolphins.
I didn't know you were interested in Florida. I'm trying to pretend like I know a thing about football, but
I'll
I
tell
really
you about the
don't.
I mean, they are
Dolphins.
from
Dad
Miami.
I mean, yeah, they are. They
Yeah.
are.
The Dolphins have a
Apparently, the
dolphin
ball
mascot.
isn't spherical.
Did you know that
Oh.
the Dolphins have a dolphin mascot that was actually dolphin napped?
Yeah,
And-
I know from
and
Ace
Ace Ventura needed
Yeah.
Jazz King asks, question is for everyone. What thing do you miss doing in the past that you can't do today?
Parkour.
That's a really good question. Jeez.
Seriously, parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah, I can only do backflips now, and it was so much fun to be able to run around and just jump off everything and not worry about my joints or my spine or my muscles. Now I feel ancient.
I mean, I brought it up before, but yeah, my friend who owned a boat, so I could go wakeboarding with him. He now lives in California and works for Amazon, so I can't like ride on the tail of his boat anymore. So I haven't wakeboarded in like 4 years, and wakeboarding is so much fun. If y'all ever get a chance to do it for real,
I'm gonna say 2. I miss being able to eat a shitload of shit and really not see.
Did you go to
like,
therapy for that?
Well, it was a thing, a phase. But like just like eat so much just stuff and
not have any
I
repercussions.
was that guy that everyone's like, how do you not gain weight?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
then I did. And then I'm also gonna say, not like I couldn't do it now. It's just I feel like I just don't have time, and it would it takes a lot of effort. But I miss playing soccer. I played up until I think like 1 or 2 like years right around the end of high school. And I ever since I was like 8 years old, I was playing, and I was really like into a defense role and kind of running the defense, and what ended up kind of derailing my whole like soccer, I guess you could say, career is I ended up trying out for our high school team my sophomore year. No, it was my junior year. And so I had to be on either JV or varsity. I had spent the other 2 years on the lower team, and everybody assumed I didn't try out because I wasn't selected for the team. But what happened was the coach that was choosing the team, like legitimately, for some reason, has always had like this bias against me. Like he used to be my coach for a couple years, and he always like treated me really odd. Like he would just like not play me a lot, and it's like my mom was like, okay, this is weird that he requested us be on the team. And so yeah, what ended up happening is guys that didn't show up to tryouts ended up making the team over me.
Whoa.
And at that point I was just like, you know what, fuck these politics, I'm done, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I miss it. I miss playing soccer because it was like
fun.
it was, dude, I was such a pest to offense out there. Like it was like borderline like stirring shit up for an hour, and I loved it because I just like it was physical, and you got beat up, and you like if you screwed with anyone on my defense, man, you were gonna see me in the next play, and it wasn't gonna be pretty. Like I miss that. I miss that a lot. So
I miss visiting California. Because I used to do it every summer when my mom lived out there.
Oh. But you were here.
I know, but that wasn't for a summer.
Oh, you missed
I'd only
being
be
here
there for
for
the entire
summer?
summer.
Yeah, it's too hot here.
I've
I'm critiquing.
We've got a few more questions left.
Yeah, because I have to go soon because I have to finish packing, and I'm flying out first thing in the morning, so I got.
On your paramotor.
I wish I don't have it here.
Because I wrecked it. Sorry.
Yes. Please fix it. At least the left engine.
Rosie Diamond asks, she says, I saw the Book of Mormon over the weekend. If you know what it is or have seen it, what do you think? I have not seen it.
Elder Price. I think it's funny and extremely offensive, which makes it funny because I think offensive things are funny, especially because most people.
I think funny things are offensive.
Rosie,
Yeah,
I would
funny
answer
things are
that.
offensive.
I would answer this question, but there was a poll that recently happened where you voted against Judy Hopps just to spite me.
I did not.
Rosie did.
Oh, Rosie. Rosie.
She voted for Lola, but she did that.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
funny
you know
because
that she's just.
well,
terrible.
I know of multiple because Saber did it too, and he told me he's like, I did it to like mess with you, but I regretted it. So like that easily, I wanted it to actually end 50-50 just so it would never end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should have at least been 50-50,
Yeah.
if not more swayed towards Judy. And of course, like the Zootopia fandom's like, we found out about this like 3 hours ago, and they put in a great effort and deserve to win, so it's okay. Lola, whatever.
Yeah.
She's not better than Judy.
At
At least you guys know this. We discussed this at EQLA, and you guys know. So.
Literally is not a better character than Judy.
Thank you.
Nora Mermaid has another question for all of us. What is your go-to karaoke song?
In the Navy.
I don't like karaoke.
I don't really do karaoke either, so I don't really have
Out
one.
of all the people in this chat right now,
It feels like work to me. Why?
Does it really?
Yeah, I've been singing like as a career for 10 years. It does. It just feels like going to work.
Huh. It's funny. The reason I ask is because like I've always kind of wondered that. Like for me, going to races, for example, and just like sitting in the stands, I now feel like it's weird for me to be in the grandstands because I've been doing the announcing side for 10 years, and now I like always feel like I want, like I'm like, if I'm here, I might as well be announcing. But I guess if I was, then I mean, I can see what you mean. Like,
but do you do the same thing when you're watching like a race at home?
Oh, do I start like wanting?
Yeah.
I actually critique. Because there's some announcers where you're just like, guys, this is a moment that you should really like. It irks me when there's a moment happening in a race and the announcers are like, oh wow, so this. I'm like, no, you should be like, holy crap, coming out of turn 4, they're smashing into each other, and they're just like, oh, look at
Sometimes
that,
they just ignore it. Like sometimes Race will call me into the room. He's like, look at this shit. Look at what. And I'm like, I don't care.
I have been talking with Sarah when he'll do this.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
You're here for the last like 2 minutes of the podcast.
We somehow managed to get the entire podcast group in this podcast at some point. We started with 3. There were 3 of us.
I've been here since Race was talking about his days in soccer.
Motherfucker.
You're so quiet. You're a quiet person too. You're like mysterious. I saw you at
Mysterious.
I like, hey man, and I think that's all we said to each other.
You're there,
For as
and
many
you like
times as our
throw
paths
one.
crossed, even.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we always like gave each other the polite nod. I felt.
Eventually, we need to sit down and just chat.
Yes, I agree with that.
We need to make another convention in Anaheim. That way I can get Gabe out here.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Another question. I think there's only like a couple more left. From Digital Arrow, what is the worst boss fight you've experienced in a video game?
Oh my god.
Man. When my
The
Master
Simpsons
Chief and my
arcade
lieutenant were
game,
yelling
any
at
of
each
the
other, I
bosses.
was like, geez.
How is worst? What do we like, the hardest or like the most heartbreaking?
I think that's up to you.
Okay, the worst.
Any of the bosses from the Simpsons arcade game.
Stick of Destiny.
Cave of Wonders.
I don't play a lot of really just anytime I've only really played a few games through Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Story, Halo, and Portal. That's pretty much it.
eclectic selection.
Yeah, so I love the old games. Oh my gosh, I love them so
Oh,
much.
you know what? You know what boss is super frustrating is the last boss of Ratchet and Clank, because like I could not beat it because there's only like a few bosses in Ratchet and Clank. It's mostly just levels, but like the last boss is so freaking difficult that it's like, well, you might as well get like this super powerful weapon and just grind out the money to get it, and then use that to beat the boss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, worst boss I've ever experienced is on that. Have you guys ever played? It's an old computer game, and it's like you have to like ski down the mountain and
1080?
avoid like rocks, and then all of a sudden, like if you don't do it fast enough or something, this like little monster comes
Are you
out
talking
and
about
eats
Ski
you.
Free?
Yes. I
Yes.
think
Oh my
so.
gosh, I
Yeah.
was talking about Ski Free on one of my art things. Like I
Yeah,
think it
that
was
is
last
It was
month.
on Windows.
Yeah.
I hated that game so much because like I
It
always
was
like,
impossible
this
to
time-
avoid the Yeti.
Yeah.
Impossible.
What the hell? What?
Oh, I'm standing up because I'm preparing to walk out of the room immediately
Oh, okay.
after we're done.
I can't think of a boss that's like mega insanely frustrating.
You're just too good at video games.
I am not.
You are.
He's just a very patient individual and very forgiving.
Like, that's okay. I died for the 10,000th time. I hear Dark Souls is terrible, but I guess I don't know if that's how much of that's just a meme.
I just don't like the aesthetic of that game, so I haven't played it.
It's too
I
dark.
mean, I played it, but like, I don't know. This is gonna sound like I'm a gigantic weeb, but like, it is so Western looking. It is like, I don't want to play that. Like, everything is brown and yeah, I know
Yeah.
it's Japanese actually.
It's very dingy.
Everything's so
Schoolgirl
brown
uniforms.
and black, gray. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
Where's the color? You know what? It's probably not, but I'm just gonna say, in vanilla World of Warcraft, in the dungeon Uldaman, it's in the Badlands, like we were talking about. The last boss at that time, his name was Arcades, and that boss fight was way too hard for level 35 people, which is what you're supposed to be to do that dungeon. Like, people would call in like level 60 healers, which is the max level, for that boss fight, and still couldn't win. It was just so hard. Yeah, so that boss fight sucks. And when Classic WoW comes out, and I get to experience it all over again, be like, oh yeah, this is hard as shit.
Yay.
Well, I think it's probably a good time to end the podcast here. Sorry if we didn't get to your questions. I did kind of skip over some that kind of seemed sort of repeaty. But you can ask them again next time, which will be on the 27th of December, just after Christmas.
Yeah, we'll talk about all of our regrets of 2017.
Hooray.
New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll make it a thing. We'll have people submit their New Year's resolutions, and we'll maybe go over them or something. I don't know, something fun like that.
Christmas hauls.
Oh yes, Christmas hauls and New Year's resolutions.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think that's also where we're gonna go over the convention document and just kind of see where things have gone and how the year was and all that stuff. So yeah, we're gonna round up 2017 with you guys in 2 weeks, December 27th, 2017. Thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for all the podcasters. Thank you for the audience, and thank you to everybody who's watching this on delay. I'm ACRacebest signing out for the Semi-Perfect Podcast.
Net neutrality.
Oh boy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Happy holidays.
Night,